Hey everyone, welcome to Vroom Vroom F1, my brand new F1 channel. I just like to apologize because I have a cold, so my voice sounds really weird right now. It's not very natural, but it'll sound better in future videos. I'm really passionate about racing and I have a bit of experience making YouTube videos. You can find my other channel's link in the description. So I decided to combine the two concepts, and here we are. With 2020 marking the final season before the 2021 technical regulations, we are sure to see a very close title fight that could go on to the very last race. We should also expect to see a very competitive midfield that might even challenge for podiums. Without further ado, I present to you with my predictions for the 2020 Constructors Championship. Coming in 10th, we have Williams. Williams have been at the bottom of the pack for a few years now, and I see no evidence of that changing. Williams have been in near constant decline for many years now. From 3rd place in 2014, Williams have had a decline in points every single year since. They finished 2019 with a single point. Williams are now missing out on Robert Kubica's car development experience and sponsorship money. However, Nicholas Latifi is bringing in quite a bit of money, and they have now confirmed Jamie Chadwick and Roy Nissany as development drivers in their team. Whether or not they will score points, I don't know. However, they do have hope for a future return to glory. I just hope their livery next year doesn't look like a tube of toothpaste. In 9th, we have Alfa Romeo Racing. Kimi Räikkönen started off last year with a Herculean first half of the season. He scored points in 7 of 12 races before the summer break, in a car that clearly had no business running up in 7th place like he did in Bahrain, France, and Hungary. However, Räikkönen fell off for the last 9 races, only scoring once in Brazil. The Brazilian Grand Prix was a clear high point in their season, with Räikkönen and Giovinazzi finishing in 4th and 5th respectively. However, their development progress was slow and their car was quite inconsistent last season. In most races, both drivers found themselves near the back. The team promises that next year's Alfa will be a whole new car, but I remain skeptical that the development progress will take them far. I believe they will still remain competitive, but will be in the lower echelons of the midfield. Coming in 9th, I have AlphaTauri. Introducing the new Alfa on the grid, we have AlphaTauri in 8th. AlphaTauri is a rebranding of the former Scuderia Toro Rosso team, promoting Red Bull's clothing line. This will add confusion, however, as audience will be left wondering which Alfa is defending from which Alfa. The issue with the Toro Rosso team is that its role on the grid is essentially to be Team Red Bull's guinea pig. They often find themselves with engine penalties as new Honda components are tried out on the B cars before working their way up to the A team. Their car is inherently inconsistent, with Daniel Kvyat finishing with both a P3 and a P17 last season, and I worry that this inconsistency will be problematic for their midfield campaign. They will still probably bring in large points throughout the season, but with equally as many Q1 exits. In 7th place we have Haas. Haas took the grid by storm in 2018, finishing 5th in the Constructors standings after a season-long battle with Renault. They struggled in 2019, finishing the season with a mere 28 points to their name. However, they were able to figure out the car's misfortunes by the end of the year and are sure to iron out the kinks for this upcoming season. An issue with their rear downforce caused them to be fighting at the back with the Williams cars, even when they qualified up in the top 10. Haas have shown that they are able to work really well with a tiny budget, and everyone in the team has spoke highly of their 2020 contender, so their design appears to be remastered. If you thought their qualifying pace was good this year, next year is sure to be nasty. 2019 was a rough season for them, and I am positive that by 2020, their car will be one of the fastest of the midfield. I'll stop now. Coming in 6th is Sport Pacer Racing Point Formula 1 team. Sergio Perez has proven himself to be one of the best drivers on the grid, if not the last decade. Racing Point finished 7th in the Constructors standings in 2018, and they most likely would have moved to 6th last year if not for the Toro Rosso's 2 podium finishes. Racing Point would probably be one of the top midfield teams if not for their second driver, Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll is competent, I will give you that, but he is probably not skilled enough to carry his team to finish above the others. Stroll's 2019 campaign was underwhelming to say the least, with the only high point coming in the form of his P4 in Germany. Racing Point will most likely net several points finishes for both drivers over the season, but I believe the era of Racing Point, or I guess it was Force India, podiums, is behind us. In P5, I have Renault. Renault have their sights set high for 2021, and 2020 for that matter, but they certainly have a history of playing up people's expectations only to let them down. However, the return of Esteban Ocon, a very fast and highly talented driver, is sure to give them a push. The other driver on the team, Daniel Ricciardo, has certainly proven himself through his 7 race wins and his 9th place finish last season. Though the Renault engine has proven to be quite unreliable, I believe that their chassis and driver skill will push them through to another P5 finish. Renault have displayed the pace in some races to challenge for podiums, which Daniel Ricciardo claimed would be the team's goal for 2020, but I am skeptical that they will rise above the best of the rest position, unlike our 4th place finisher. Coming in P4 is McLaren. McLaren were quite the Cinderella story last year. Coming from many years of mediocrity, the fact that they were able to finish P4 with a podium is quite remarkable. I believe with the new money coming in from British American Tobacco, McLaren will have a strong enough car to challenge for podiums. But I don't believe they will be challenging the top 6 every race. If a race simulator Germany 19 happens this year, or even the inaugural Vietnam Grand Prix, a podium could be on the table. Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris have proven themselves to be remarkable young drivers, with a combined 24 points finishes last season. And McLaren have proven themselves to be quite good car developers, bringing their car from 6th place up to 4th over the course of one offseason. Come 2021, I see McLaren back up at the top of the field, but for now, they will once again win the midfield crown. To pit or not to pit? That is the question Matteo Binotto asked himself over and over last season. That was also the question Binotto got wrong over and over again. Ferrari's strategy calls were often nightmarish last year. In addition, the team brought in Charles Leclerc, an incredibly talented and also incredibly ambitious future world champion, and paired him with a skilled but also undoubtedly aging former world champion, Sebastian Vettel. This mixed with occasionally dodgy reliability led to something going wrong in Bahrain, Azerbaijan, Monaco, Canada, Austria, Britain, Germany, and the list goes on and on. If Red Bull had gotten their driver roster in order last year, I have reason to believe that Ferrari would have had their 2nd place beaten out of them. This year, with Red Bull Racing's progress, it seems unfortunately likely that Ferrari will be unable to put up a fight against the Honda-backed Red Bull that is surprisingly fast in surprising places. Red Bull come home in P2. They proved themselves to be surprisingly fast around tracks that the Red Bull car had not been competent around just a season ago. The new Honda engine brought Max Verstappen and Red Bull great success in Austria, Germany, and Brazil. Red Bull have always been known as the team with the best chassis, and if you pair that with a Honda engine, you are sure to get successful results. Red Bull have been itching to challenge Mercedes in a title fight throughout the entire hybrid era. After all, they were the number 1 team from 2010 through 2013. Aston Martin Red Bull Racing are one of the most promising teams on the grid, with some of the most promising drivers in Max Verstappen and Alex Albon. I believe the title fight will come down to Max Verstappen and a secret driver from a number 1 team. Mercedes. How to describe Mercedes? Mercedes have been the evil empire throughout the entire hybrid era. They have won every single Constructors championship since 2014. This came with 89 wins, 48 1-2 finishes, and nearly 81% of all the championship points they could have possibly scored. Mercedes have cruised easily to a Constructors championship in every single year since 2014, and are almost certain to repeat the same triumph this year. Though the other top teams, being Ferrari and Red Bull, have managed to close the gap over the years, I have no reason to believe that it will be enough. Mercedes are almost certain to lock down the hybrid era with another win this year. With drivers like 6-time world champion Lewis Hamilton and 7-time race winner Valtteri Bottas, you can't go wrong. That is, as long as Lewis's tires don't up and die on him.
We're going to lose this race, but I can't look after the tires anymore, they're dead.
There you have it, folks. Those are my predictions. Take them or leave them. If you liked the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it. This is a brand new channel, so I need all the support I can get. If you have suggestions for how I can make this channel the best it can be, drop a comment and I will respond. If you don't mind, I'm gonna vroom vroom out of here.